Did you ever feel like the developers of a video game reached into your mind and made the perfect game for you? That's exactly how I felt playing Neon Inferno, a game that mixes Contra-style run and gun with gallery shooting. Now, I personally love gallery shooters. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you probably have played Wild Guns or Cabal. That style of game is so much fun and you rarely see them being made. Neon Inferno takes that concept, combines it with a traditional Contra-like game, and comes out with something wholly original and much greater than the sum of its parts. You play as two assassins who work for a crime family. You can select most of the missions in any order, and there are some cutscenes to move along the story, but the emphasis here is on non-stop blazing action, and it delivers better than probably any game I've ever played. The tutorial level lets you get used to the controls, and it will be largely familiar to anyone who's played Contra. You could change directions, aim in 8 ways, lock yourself in place, and you get a dodge roll as well as a parry to give yourself some tools to avoid damage. However, what sets this game apart is by holding the right button, you shoot into the background, and this extra layer of shooting adds so many cool possibilities to the gameplay. The main draw is just how incredibly fast and action-packed everything is. From the second you turn it on, you are thrust into a city street full of enemies shooting at you from all directions, not unlike what you might have seen in the first level of Contra 3. Before long, you find the motorcycle. You hop onto it, and now you're racing down the streets in an adrenaline-fueled biker battle where you can shoot in both lanes and change lanes with the touch of a button. Eventually, a fully armed truck appears, and the boss waits inside. Shooting at you, you cause enough damage, and the whole thing blows up. You then hop off the bike onto the burning truck for the next phase of the boss fight, where the boss is flying in and out of the background with different attacks until he finally goes down. That's the description of the very first level. And it just literally never lets up. Every minute of every stage is loaded with new incredible set pieces and tons of enemies coming from all directions. I love this section here. You're in a rail car in the sky, fighting enemies as they drop in. Eventually, one blows up the rail car and you fall out into the sky traffic. You now have to make your way across a tricky platforming section in the sky until you eventually find yourself safely on some rooftops. Fight off a bunch of baddies, and now you are squaring off against a gigantic robot, and that's not even the whole level. It's just incredible. There are a ton of bosses to fight with some really cool attack patterns, and the dynamic of having background enemies really makes for some fun, unique fights that are just not possible in any other game. There are 3 difficulty levels to choose from. I played the game on hard. It was difficult as you have low health and tons of enemies. Checkpoints are sparse as well, but I love the challenge. One of the things this game does better than perhaps any game I've ever played is the way they telegraph attacks. There are bright exclamation points with markers telling you exactly where the bullets are going to land. Sometimes a warning sign to jump or an indicator of exactly where the boss is going to pop out should they go off screen. These indicators make even the most hectic of battles seem fair. You always know what to expect. It's just a matter of getting it right, and when you finally do, it's an incredible feeling to flawlessly take down a boss who has given you so many problems when you first ran into them. In between levels, there's a shop where you can buy upgrades and special weapons. You do get lesser rewards on levels if you don't achieve a high ranking, so you'll have to really play skillfully to access some of the more expensive upgrades. Neon Inferno is a perfect game. Its campaign is just right for a game like this. It took me about 2.5 hours to beat on my first playthrough, which again was on hard difficulty, but the moment-to-moment gameplay was just stellar. This is a unique, explosive action game that everyone should check out, and in my view, even stands next to Contra as one of the greatest run and guns ever made.